Welcome back to Ask Allison. Here's today's question. Money is tight, so I'm wondering what your thoughts are around starting a remote practice while I build and then transitioning to an office space. My ideal office space would be located near a nice outdoor space with trails, etc., as I'd like to take clients outdoors. Do you recommend starting remotely to save money, or is that not smart? So before I answer, I would like to thank TherapyNotes. They are the #1 rated electronic health record system available today with live telephone support 7 days a week. It's clear why TherapyNotes is rated 4.9 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot and has a 5-star rating on Google. TherapyNotes makes billing, scheduling, note-taking, and telehealth incredibly easy, and they also offer e-prescribe. If you're coming from another EHR, TherapyNotes makes that transition incredibly easy, importing your demographic data free of charge so you can get going right away. Find out what more than 100,000 mental health professionals already know. Use promo code ABUNDANT at therapynotes.com for 2 free months. All right. To answer your question, anecdotally through my students, I see a slight preference for in-person work among clients. This often means that some people will tell a therapist that they want to make an appointment, and then they change their minds when they find out it's online and they move on to another therapist or try to. There are tons of full online practices, so hear me when I say it's a slight preference. It won't impact your ability to get full. It may slightly impact your timeline. If money is tight and this is what you can do right now, then do what you can do. Consider your work experience too. I personally prefer in person, but I still have a hybrid practice because there are clients that love the convenience of online. But I would enjoy it less if most of my clients were virtual. I associate that with the pandemic, I think. So back in the olden days when I started my practice, all sessions were in person. Online therapy didn't exist in 2005. My first practice space was on 98 acres on the river. It was land owned by my mentor and clinical supervisor. And I could do therapy on the big rock we could hop to in the middle of the river. We could walk along trails during sessions, or there's this small table outside the Cobb House that served as my office that we could sit at. We were 25 to 30 minutes outside of downtown, and I appreciated it so much at the time, but I didn't fully get how rare and special it was. I left for an office space in the heart of town and then came back later. Not every area has such an incredible opportunity. You don't have to have an idyllic situation to have an amazing outdoor space. But if an outdoor space is what you want, consider creative ways to get there. I had an acquaintance who had a mobile office. She outfitted a camper van to be a therapy office in the back. She met clients at different parks and outdoor spaces, and the van was there in case of inclement weather or client preference to be like indoors. I hadn't seen anything like it before or since. A camper van, all kitted out, will definitely be more expensive than office rent, but it's an outside the box way to do indoor-outdoor space that you could work up to. My advice is always to start with the end in mind in your practice, but there are economic realities we have to take into consideration. So sometimes that means saving more before you enter private practice. Sometimes that means making do with what you have to start your practice. Another option is a less awesome office space in an amazing location. You can move offices later when it's more affordable. Just please don't get stuck in wherever you start if that isn't what you want for the long term. What we see in our Limitless Practice program is that people who have gotten full are often afraid to make changes because they don't want to wreck the stability, even if it would greatly improve their life, because they worked really hard for the stability. So they end up making the change with our support. That's why they're in Limitless, but it is a process and it is scary. So to wrap up, ideally, you start in person with a good enough spot. If that's not possible, you can stay for a while longer before you start, or you can start online. But have a plan in place for when you start to make changes and find an office. And that plan could be something like, when I have 5 clients and I can afford an office, I will do that. I will find a good office. If you do go for an office today or later, today's free worksheet is what to look for in an office lease. And that's going to help you make sure you get into the situation you want, because similar to any other big decision, an office space can feel great if you have a great landlord. It can feel awful if you have an awful landlord. So I will include that. Just send me a message, either a comment or DM the word sheets, and we will send you the link to the worksheets. All right. Have a really great day.